Hi everybody, my name is Ben Hoyt. I'm the web chair of the English Teachers Association of Switzerland, and like a lot of you, I've been spending all week moving my existing face-to-face classes into an online format. So during this week, I've found a lot of really great, precise, technical information about what the tools do and how to install them. But what I found more difficult to find was kind of a how do I run a class and what do I want to do and how do I do it? And so that's why at the end of this long week, I decided I want to make a quick, dirty video just to tell people why we decided to use Microsoft Teams, first of all, what our goals were when we started setting it up, and then I want to give people a tour of our classroom space that we set up on Teams. So I'm just going to pop onto the camera for a minute so you don't get too bored looking at this still image. So, hi. So we got the news on Friday that our school would be closing at the end of the day, and that we would have 1 week to modify our courses and create some sort of a distance learning equivalent of our existing course. And so the other English teachers and I, we teach English as a second language at a business college in Switzerland. We decided that what we really wanted to preserve from our existing class was face-to-face, real-time contact in some format. So we wanted to use some kind of video conference or web meeting, something like that. And our existing online tools all run through Moodle, and we figured we could probably find something a little bit more easily integratable with this online meeting stuff than Moodle. And what we found is that many of the students already use Teams, and all of the students have a license for Teams with their Office 365 education subscription, which is free for them. So that kind of pushed it in Teams' favor quite quickly as to something that we wanted to take a good look at. So the goals that we had, like I said, first of all, we wanted to make this face-to-face contact possible. But at the same time, we wanted to really lighten the burden of the online learning on our students. We all read a great article about, I'll put the link in the description. If you're going to put your classes online, please do a bad job. And what this author explained is that these students didn't sign up for online classes at the beginning of the semester. They don't necessarily meet the requirements, hardware and space and time requirements required to study online. And it's not fair to expect them to complete a whole full online course at the drop of a hat. And so we then set out to make it as asynchronous as possible so that students could do the work on their own time, whether or not they were online, without having to be constantly online and constantly checking in at any particular time. We want to really make it easy for them to do it on their own schedule, and without placing too many demands on them. I mean, they're under just as much stress as the rest of us are. So, and then on top of making it easy for the students to achieve, we wanted to make it clear what they would have to do. You're not there to keep them on track and on task. We need to give them clear, simple instructions, and we needed to make it easy on ourselves, because since we couldn't just put all of our classes directly online, we don't have that much time to teach the students anymore. We have to change things. We decided that we would all work together, and we will all participate in all 4 of the courses that we teach. We have 2 years of English at the school, and we have an intermediate level and an advanced level. So that's first year, intermediate, and advanced, and second year, intermediate and advanced. And what we would do is we'd put our heads together. We'd all just use the materials that one person makes for each class, and then we can all be available to teach all of the students, or to talk to all of the students when they decide to drop by and visit us in a meeting. And so that will hopefully, we haven't even started yet, hopefully be less work for us, and it should be easy for the students to check with any of their colleagues and figure out how Teams works and where they can find the work. So, so what we decided to do, and I'll show you what we've got going on in Teams now. Sorry, I've got, so we've got our 4 classes here. The second semester intermediate, and the 4th semester intermediate, and the 2nd semester advanced, and the 4th semester of advanced. And so here's where the students get their classwork. We have English teachers' office hours, and then we have another team that's just for the English teachers, and here's where we have our lesson planning documents, and we have other conversations here about organization and things like that. So if I take you to the 2nd semester advanced business English group, I've added all of my students in here, and what you will see is that each week I'm going to make an announcement. Hello, team name. Here are the materials for this week. And so we have a PDF here. And if the students will look at them, they can see there's 4 tasks. There's a video or a text. There's a main task, which is kind of up to us to define it, some sort of expressive task of some way. And then we've got what we're calling self-study. This was usually the homework. And then we've got answer keys in this document. And all of it should be contained in this document so the students can come in, download the document, go offline. They can watch, as you see, there's a TED Talk. They can watch that TED Talk at some other time, and then they'll need to log in to complete the main task. But again, they can do it when it's convenient. So we've got some questions before the video. We've got a TED Talk. I'm using something called Flipgrid to get recordings of the students talking, so that there's more productive skills that we can work with. There's a real simple vocabulary task. We're trying to make very, 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 very low demands on our students. And then they all have a grammar book, and so it's phrasal verbs this week. They can find the answers there. And then we invite them to, as you can see, this is the icon for the English teachers' office hours. And what we've done is we've set a little rota up so that somebody will be in the office for 4 hours a day, 6 hours on Wednesdays, 2 hours on Thursday, and we'd like to talk to the students. We don't know how it's going to work. We don't know if the students are going to come. We'll run a survey in a few weeks and ask them what times would be good for them, so we can check in and get a little feedback from them about, like, does everybody want to meet between 8 and 10 in the evening, or what? So that's something that we have to figure out. But all of this is replicated within Teams as well. So up at the top, I've made tabs for each of these main steps. So you can see this week's video, I've used a tool called Wakelet. It's a little bookmarking tool that's owned by Microsoft. It integrates really nicely. You can make some questions and then put a link below it. It's just a nice way to make a little page here. So there's the pre-listening questions. There's the TED Talk. And then it's time for the main task. So the main task is what I said. It's called Flipgrid. And again, the students just click this plus, and then they record their response. And they can also click the plus and upload something that they recorded earlier. So they can record at a time that's convenient for them, in a place that gives them sufficient privacy, or they can turn the camera around and film out the window while they talk if they like that. And then they can upload that later to reply to us. So we can hear them talking at some point, even if they don't come to what we call the office hours. And one of the really nice things about Flipgrid is when the students submit a video, you can, after you watch the video, just click reply and record your own video response. So there will be individual feedback, which again, it's the best thing that we can give them. And the most important part that's missing from a distance learning class is that individual feedback. So we've created an avenue for giving feedback. And then there's the self-study. I made another page with Wakelet. Here's just a reminder for them. So if they prefer it in the document, they can see it there. If they use Teams, they'll see it here. And here's an invitation to visit the office hours. So I've posted the schedule again, and I've made a link which takes us to the office hours. So what we're going to do in the office hours is all of the students from all of the classes are in this team. And so at 9:30 on Monday morning, I'm going to use this Meet Now button, and I'm going to create a meeting, and it'll be something like 9:30 to 11:30 office hours with Ben. And then you click Meet Now, and then students can come and join the meeting. And if somebody else is in the meeting, well, that's fine. They can just wait their turn. They can come back in 2 or 3 minutes, or they can sit there and listen to two people have a conversation. If we used the chat function, then what happens is people get put on hold. It's more work to have multiple people in these chat calls. But with a meeting, it's quite easy to just let people come and join whenever they want. And if if they want to stick around, that's great. If they're in a different class, no problem. But they can come whenever, and they don't need to ask permission, and they don't need to call us. I can just be on the camera and wait for people to come in. So that's our plan. We'll see how it works. It's a good time to do it because I think the students are eager to get back to something that they can control, and they're also eager to try something new. I think we've got a lot of goodwill from the students, so we're going to try it. I think it feels manageable at this point, and well, I'll let you know. So if you've got questions, please put them in the comments of the video, or you can join us on one of the ETAS channels, the ETAS website, etas.ch, the Twitter account, the Facebook account or the Instagram account. We've got a couple Facebook groups where we're sharing lots of personal advice for teachers in Switzerland in particular. But if you're just looking to connect, please look us up. So I hope this was a useful video, and I hope to hear from you, and I wish you good luck with your teaching over the next few weeks.